We all know the trope, right? The home invasion. But why does it freak us out so much? Today, we're going to tear apart 3 true stories, really get under the hood, and see what makes them tick, what makes them so unbelievably terrifying. But first, I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. What is the most terrifying sound you can possibly imagine? I mean, is it a scream? A loud bang? Maybe an animal growling in the dark? Nope, not even close. The most terrifying sound is the one you can't explain. You know, that quiet little tap on the window when you're in the middle of nowhere, or hearing footsteps downstairs when you know you're the only one home. That's where the real horror begins. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to look at the primal fear of invasion, what happens when your home stops feeling safe, the face at the window, the anatomy of pure suspense, and finally, why that fear just sticks with you. All right, so why do these kinds of stories get under our skin so effectively? It's not just about jump scares, right? It's way deeper than that. They tap into something ancient, something primal. So let's look at these stories like they're case studies in what really truly scares us. And the core idea here, the thing that makes it all work, is something called the violation of the sanctum. Think about it. Your home is supposed to be your safe space, your fortress. The absolute horror of these stories comes from taking that one safe place and turning it into the source of the terror. And that's a perfect lead-in to our next section. Because in these stories, the setting isn't just, a background. It's an active player. These stories are absolute masters at building up this cozy, safe feeling of home just so they can rip it all away from you. And you can see that conflict right here. Look at the language. On one hand, you have the promise, this peaceful town, a dream home. And then, bam, the promise is broken. The man is inside the house. The place that was supposed to protect you suddenly becomes the cage. And how do they do it? How do they make the home a trap? One word: isolation. It doesn't matter if it's a quiet suburb where the parents are gone, a giant house in the woods, or a beat-up cabin where your phone has no signal. The end result is always the same. You are completely, utterly alone. Help isn't coming. Okay, so we've got the isolated setting. Now let's talk about the thing that makes it all terrifying: the intruder. And what's so scary is that this isn't some ghost or monster from a movie. No, this is a human being. And somehow, that's so much worse. First up, the man from the woods. I mean, wild hair, filthy clothes. That's already unsettling. But then you get this. The biggest, creepiest smile I've ever seen. That smile, that's the real horror. It's completely wrong. It's a sign that whatever's going on in his head is not something you or I would understand. Then you have this guy at the cabin, pressed up against the glass. He didn't blink. Wow. So here, it's not a creepy smile. It's the total lack of anything. Just this unnatural stillness. It's like he's not even a person anymore, just a thing watching you. And that is deeply, deeply wrong. And this one might be the scariest. The pizza guy. He just looks a little rough. Totally normal, right? But then he hits you with that one question. You alone here? And just like that, everything flips. It's no longer about pizza. He's sizing you up. He's checking to see if you're an easy target. So when you stitch all these descriptions together, you get the perfect recipe for a nightmare. Their appearance is off. Their behavior is totally irrational. They can smell your vulnerability, but the real kicker, the thing that makes them so terrifying, you have no earthly idea why they're there. And because you don't know their motive, you can't predict what they'll do next. Okay, so we have our ingredients: a trapped victim and a terrifyingly unpredictable intruder. So how do these stories use them to build that slow burn tension that's almost impossible to bear? Well, there's a formula. Let's break it down. And what's crazy is that all 3 stories follow the exact same playbook. Step 1, an unexplained sound, just enough to put you on edge. Step 2, you see it, a face, a figure. Okay, it's real. The threat is confirmed. Step 3, the approach. The doorknob jiggles. He's testing the locks. And finally, step 4, the invasion. He's inside. Game over. It's this beautiful, terrible, methodical escalation. And this quote, this right here, is the moment the world drops out from under you. It's that horrifying pivot point. The fear is no longer out there. It's in here with you. The one rule you thought you could count on, that you're safe inside your home, has just been shattered. So that brings us to the end. The police show up, the main character gets away, but you know what? The horror isn't over.
Not really. Why is that? Why did these stories follow us home and stay with us long after we're done reading?
Well, the thing is, the real horror lives in the what ifs. It's relatable because we all have a home. But the key, the thing that makes it stick, is the ambiguity. The bad guy is never caught, we never find out why he did it, and that lack of an answer, that's what's truly unsettling. Our brains are left to imagine the worst over and over. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The person might be gone, but that face, that image, is burned into your brain. The memory itself becomes the new intruder. It's like a ghost that you can never evict from your own mind. And so that leaves us with one last big question. Why do we do this to ourselves? Maybe we're drawn to these stories because they hold up a mirror. They remind us just how fragile our sense of security really is, that the line between safe and terrified is maybe just a single pane of glass. So, why do we love telling ourselves stories that we know will never truly leave us?